points in which we agree and doctrinal points in which we disagree and why. We're going to go into that tomorrow. And we're going to also go into the transitional. We're going to go into that tomorrow. And we're going to also them. There's a transition that happens in all of us, a metamorphosis, coming to the truth and realize that they've inherited lies. That we're going to go into that tomorrow. And we're going to also go into the transitional period and doctrinal points in which we disagree and why. We're going to go into that tomorrow. And we're going to also go into the transitional period or point we all go through once realizing we are Israelites, or even Gentiles. When Gentiles come into the truth and realize that they've inherited lies that was taught to us as well as them. There's a transition that happens in all of us, a metamorphosis through this change. How do we adjust in the midst of this confusion called Babylon? With the pressures of the world, what do we wear? How do we wear it? How do we please God? Or so on and so forth. Any moral, civil, dietary laws, all of that will be discussed tomorrow in the Academy. Israelite doctrine, traditions, and culture. So for those that are fairly new in this work, it will be a great lesson for you to understand and to teach you not to deal with all the immediate pressures that happens all at once. Okay? It's a dynamic in itself, realizing that we were lied to. And one thing you have to realize, we cannot begin to blame this on our families, our mother, our father. We can't blame our pastor. We can't blame the people who are entrusted by God to look out for us. Mm-hmm. Okay? And these were the people that led us on the path to receive the truth the Most High bestowed upon you. So we have to learn not to burn bridges with our family just because the Most High have given us the truth. And there's so many dynamics and emotions at once, we deal with. So how to walk a straight path in Christ in this transition will be really the focal point of tomorrow's lesson. Okay, because some people get this knowledge and realize you've been lied to, and now you become an enemy to everything in the world. Can't even have a regular conversation with your brothers and sisters and condescend to the lowest level to help them out of the rut. Right? You become an enemy to your family, an enemy to your mother and father who've raised you and took care of you the best they knew how. A lot of our people did this, taught us in ignorance, folks. A lot of they just did the best they could with what they had. And keep in mind, the book of Daniel tells us that a lot of the information was sealed for a time. It was sealed to us. But the Gentiles always understood and knew exactly who we were. And because of that, some of us begin to racially lash out against other nations, people who don't look like us. We'll look at the Arabs and say, look at you. You were responsible. You did the slave trade before the white man. Should I hate you too? Well, that Arab man, he got a falafel stand. He's just trying to feed his family this week. Mm-hmm. So you understand? So this transition is really a spiritual metamorphosis, a gift, a fragile gift that can easily slip away if it isn't dealt with delicately and righteously through the Holy Spirit. Don't let our emotions turn that light out. Okay? Don't, being disrespectful, ignorant, hurting others. That's not the Holy Spirit. And I'm an Israelite. I'm glad to be an Israelite. Okay? But you have to realize what responsibility that comes with you being that Israelite. Not just that Israelite who you think you are, the son of Jacob. That Israelite who was sent to die for the sins of our nation, Yeshua. We have to become that Israelite. Boom. Which leads me to our discussion today, Elder Lawyer. Our discussion today, and it took us a while. I'm sorry we came on late, but we have books all over the place and wanted to make sure that all the details, the history, and the research was here before you. We didn't want to, you don't want to fumble in between and all that while looking at this book and looking for that book. So we had to get some history books together for this particular lesson, and I hope you appreciate what we're about to go into. Okay? The black Jews were taken away. Our lesson today, the black Jews were taken away. First of all, I would like on this Sabbath to give all glory to the Most High, Ahaya, in the name of Yeshua, his son, who was sent for the sins of our nation, through the Holy Spirit, Ruach. I would like to thank the Most High for allowing us to gather together in his name on his Sabbath today. And I really pray that the Most High have the spirit of truth resonate throughout the earth to bring Jacob back again to the God of Israel. And not just Jacob. This gospel we teach of Christ, from Christ, is to the Jews first and also to the Gentiles. Okay? I had to make a distinction yesterday when I was saying that, listen, when Gentiles come into the church and are baptized and follow Christ and are walking after the spirit of our fathers, they're no longer considered heathen. Okay? Heathen is synonymous with a pagan. Okay? Someone who can discern right from wrong but choose to follow what's wrong. Choose to follow evil. Choose to follow the holidays and all the things that are against the God of this Bible. And begin to practice sacrifice, sexual immorality, operating like an animal. That's a heathen. Okay? We would like to think of our brothers and sisters in Christ who are not Israelites as the disciples thought of them. Gentiles who are called by the Most High's name for the Most High's purpose. Right? Putting this whole thing into its proper perspective. And keep in mind, folks, this is not our truth. It's Christ's truth. There's this new thing out there, Elder Lawyer, where people are saying, well, I want to say, yeah, I just want to bring forth my truth. That's this new thing out now.
Right.
I just want to speak my truth. So you've created your own truth? Well, what is that? That means anything you make up a convoluted, confusing mind becomes truth, and is now has become a credible a source of truth in which I have to accept because it's your truth. That's this new thing people are saying all online. Yeah, I just want to be in my truth. Listen, Christ is the truth.
That's right.
Okay? When somebody come, oh, you want to bring your opinion? Just say your opinion. What's these parsing of words and confusing people? Your opinion isn't truth. All righty, all righty. I just needed to, we at 700 so quick. Thank you for, we would like to start usually when we get around 700. Help us out and make sure if you've just come in, we have 700 people in, we should have 700 likes. Just hit the like button for me real quick if you don't mind. Real quick so that we can drive the traffic up, because I'm sure brothers and sisters don't want to miss this particular class today. Any pen for him? Highlighter. You don't want to miss this in particular. You have it?
Yes, sir.
That's right. All praises be to the Most High. The black Jews were taken away. Is our lesson today. Man, there's so many paths we can take today with this particular lesson. The black Jews were taken away. Elder Lawyer, lead us with prayer with the Shema real quick, and then let's put a foot on Satan's and Satan's minister's neck.
Shema Yasha Allah Ahaya Allahaya Nawa Ahaya Akkad.
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 Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one God.
That's right.
All right, I'm ready. They took the black Jews away is our topic. Now, usually when you hear that word black, or if you hear the word white, automatically it would lend one to believe, oh, here go those Israelites again with this race baiting and race conversation that leads to hatred. Automatically. Okay. What you would call the Freudian programming would automatically trigger one when you hear a color to believe it's hatred. Right? But let's just concentrate on the information today, if you will. Being, if you believe that Christ and the disciples and the Jews look like this. Even if you believe they look like this, follow the information today. Or if you believed how they look like this in the catacombs of Rome. Black people in the catacombs of Rome. Either side you would want to believe, that's on you. Okay. But follow the information that we're going to bring forth today, which will give a full understanding beyond color. Beyond color. The full understanding of what doctrine or what religion in the earth we as a people on earth should be following. Israelites as well as Gentiles. Right? And what should we denounce going forward within our belief mechanism? What should we denounce or do away with altogether in concerning how to follow the true God of all gods and how to truly follow Christ, regardless whether or not you're black or white. We're going to find out what's wrong within our modern day religions and how it came in. And above all, how that affects all of us. Right? They took the black Jews away is our topic. And the reason why I titled it that way, because automatically I know there's an immediate response that comes from such a, what you would call, dynamic or forward statement. Right? What some would call, man, that's a definite statement. How can you make such a claim? They took the black Jews away. Well, I'm going to show you how that impacted everything, folks. How did that impact everything? And why should I, if I'm a white person listening to this right now, why should I even hear this? Right? Well, no. Even if you're white, you're not going to hear someone cursing you out, calling you a name and all those things. That's immature. That's immature. We're not here to call you names. We're here to help you see the living God who can help better your life and help your family going forward in respect of understanding God's people. Right?
Mm-hmm. One quick scripture on that point.
Oh, yeah, I'll use the bathroom. Can you break it down?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Lloyd.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. So we're showing you that this is not simply a white and black argument. We understand that both so-called white people, so-called black or African American people, all people on the face of this earth were deceived by the same exact devil. Let me read this again. Revelation 12 and 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. So the whole world was deceived to believe philosophies, vain deceits, vain opinions. Okay? The whole world was deceived.
And just adding to that, what you said earlier, that this person isn't from a standpoint of I am better than you looking down. We all did the same thing together.
Right.
Exactly.
We all seeking a way out.
Exactly.
So we're not coming from a point of view of I'm better than you.
Exactly. And that's another thing. We're not coming from a condescending vantage.
Looking down. We all did the same thing together.
Right.
Exactly.
We all seeking a way out.
Vantage point to try to put some type of negative out there to say that we're better. That's not the case at all. Okay, so I want to put that out there too, because let me tell you, the stage has been set to break this down. Whether you believe Jesus and whom you call Jesus, or Mary and the disciples, whether you believe they look like this or look like this. You're going to know by the end of the lesson how they looked. But what's more important than just how they looked, right? What's more important than how they look, brothers and sisters, is what they've come to for disobeying God. That's more important than how they looked. When they took the black Jews away, what's more important than how they looked is the condition they'll fall into for disobeying the God who made them and saved them from the hand of Pharaoh. from the tyranny of Pharaoh. And in understanding that, a path is made for those people to regain everything that was lost. If you are a pastor, if you ever went to church, if you are a Muslim, if you are a believer in God, you don't want to miss this biblical and historical record. We're going to chronologize this for you today. We're going to use secular history as well as the Bible to give some proper context and understanding to what? To when they took the black Jews away. Right? Now, to set the stage here, let's go back to Egypt real quick. Let's go back to Egypt. Exodus, the first chapter. This was before there was any such people as Americans. Okay? This was before there was any such people as what you would call Europeans, black or white. This was before there was any such thing as a European white man. Okay? Let's go back to Egypt. And we're going to discuss right and wrong. And another place we're going to go. Folks, another place we're going to go. Suppose the wrong is being taught as a doctrine within religions today. Will you still accept the wrong? Suppose the wrong we chronologize and go into today. Suppose the religion you're following is upholding the oppression, the destruction that came with the fall of the black Jews. At that point, what? Yes, there's a conversation to be had and a decision to be made. Suppose you are a part of what Pharaoh did to the Hebrews. Suppose you're living that and upholding that. Suppose you're in a religion that's continually oppressing God's people and have made the oppression part of their doctrine, a doctrine you're upholding, bringing into your neighborhood, suppressing the children of God. Suppose you find to be an accomplice with Satan by joining a religion that have always oppressed God's people. Let's go.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 1.
Come on.
Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob.
These are the name of the children of Israel that came into Egypt. Right? Now, this was before there was any such land or people called Israel or Israelites. This is a Semitic tribe, only really a Semitic small family of 70 people walking into the land of Egypt who originally were Egyptian citizens. Right? So our homeland first, folks, was Egypt. Before the Most High destroyed the Canaanites and the Amorites and the others and gave our forefathers the chosen land. Now I said ours because yes, I know according to the Bible tells us that land belonged originally to us. And you'll know who it belonged to before this lesson is done. Okay, read.
Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob.
Come on.
Reuben, Simeon, Levi and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun and Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls.
All the souls that came out of the loin of Jacob was 70 souls. Right? Read.
For Joseph was in Egypt already.
For Joseph was in Egypt already. Gaja, I need you to give me an ink pen real quick. That ink pen? Oh, never mind. Here it is. Because now I'm going to chronologize this, right? We're talking about almost 1,500 years, right? Right? About 1,500 years, some odd years before Christ would come on the scene. You have a nation, Jacob, the father of Israel, going into Egypt with Israelites. Right? I need you to chronologize this now. Because these people were given something that would sever them or give them a distinct divide in the earth from other people. Their religion would be different. How they serve their God would be different. Okay? And this is what makes these people a special people unto God. Because these are supposed to be on earth the obedient, the righteous, the example of good. Right? So here it is. Joseph was, the Most High led him into the country knowing that there would be a famine in the land, a 7-year famine. 7-year famine, 7 years of plenteous. And believe it or not, that particular famine is actually written in Egyptian history. Now, this was before we were a nation. That there's archaeological proof and historical proof. Okay. From what you would call wise Chaldeans that was living in Pharaoh's home. His advisors, who was actually writing and chronicling journals on that famine. So it did happen. It was the only time period in which, when Joseph gained power, second to the throne of Pharaoh, where he told all of the Egyptians to take down their many idols, being pagan, to only worship one God in the temple. And to consecrate that particular union, Potiphar the priest gave his daughter to Joseph. And all that time, when Joseph was in position, only one God was followed in Egypt. And this can be chronologized through history. We teach this in our academy dealing with the history of the Hyksos period. Now, our father Jacob comes in with 70 souls. 70 people. And we become a multitude. I went into it a couple of weeks ago to show that because we begin to multiply, the government in place feared that we would one day outpopulate the Egyptians and say, let's get them out of office. When it says get them out of the land, let's get them out of Upper Egypt and put them and move them into Goshen, which is near modern day Alexandria, Egypt today. So we had high political positions in Egypt until there rose up a Pharaoh who knew not Joseph. Okay. Let's go into it now. Let's go straight to that Pharaoh.
Yes, sir. Verse 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph.
Come on.
And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
Come on.
Come on, let us deal wisely with them.
Let us deal wisely with them.
Lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies, and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
So here's a government plan to first move us out of political position. Because in position, we would represent our constituency, Israelites. So he says, first we must move them out of the position that other Pharaoh put Joseph in. So this was a political move now. So now The Israelites don't have a voice in councils going forward concerning what? The embetterment of the country Egypt. Now, to give y'all some insight, if you didn't understand history, you can relate it to how the White House is now. One would think that, okay, that, for instance, for a long time, we believed that you had to be white to be a president, and all of them were white until Obama came. And then we found out before that there were black presidents, a black president in the inception of the country, right? Well, Egypt was similar to that. You didn't have to be an Egyptian to be a pharaoh. Okay. This was an Assyrian pharaoh here. And the seat of Egypt was being controlled by the land of Canaan. The Canaanites were really controlling the seat of Pharaoh. When you go into the history, it wasn't just one race of people being Pharaoh. When Ishmael was sent back to Egypt, some of his sons became Pharaoh. Okay, so don't think that, okay, this is all Africans or Hamitic people. Not Hamitic people, but all of one race of people being rulers in Egypt. An example of that is when Joseph came, guess what? The king gave him the ring to rule Egypt. Okay, and he was a Shemite over all of the political power within Egypt. He says, the only place I got more power than you, Joseph, is the throne. So there were Shemites, there were Hamites, there were other families sitting as pharaohs in Egypt. But I'm going to deal with that on a later date, breaking down and chronologizing the families of the Egyptian pharaohs. And of course, we do that, the historical content, again in school, the academy. But check out what this particular pharaoh said. Let us deal wisely with them. Let's move the leaders of Israel out of political position, because they're growing large in number. And if they continue to multiply like this, you know we multiply, right? If they begin to multiply, they will have the upper ground when it comes to what we would call today the popular vote. They'll take over Egypt. Eventually, they'll join with our enemies and take us out altogether. And then they had a problem with Joseph being what? A believer in one God. Joseph's belief system was monotheistic. He only believed in one God. When the Egyptians wanted to worship the sun, the moon, all different types of gods. So they were envious and mad at Joseph for taking down the gods they were worshiping, the pagan gods in Egypt. Right? Go on.
Verse 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters.
They set over them what?
Taskmasters, to afflict them with their burdens.
Exactly now. Slavery now. Now you might think, well, how can they just put these people into servitude? Well, think about it, folks. It wasn't an immediate servitude. Don't forget, we were only in Egypt 210 years. That's a long period of time as far as in Egypt in itself. We weren't in Egypt 400 years. Let me make that clear. 200 years. We were afflicted by the Egyptians well before that. During the time of Isaac, we were afflicted by the Egyptians. We were in Egypt under their affliction, being enslaved to about 200 some odd years. Right? So it goes down like this. Let's conspire against them. Check this out. Listen to what it says. Read that last part again, Elder Lawyer.
Verse 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters.
Put taskmasters over Israelites. Now, when you look in the book of Jasher, it distinctly tells us that the conspiracy was, well, we can get y'all out of the land because there's this great project we need you to do. And they tasked the elders of the Israelites to be foremen over this particular project. This is how they was able to get us out of the land to go to be over a new project, a new building, a small town being made for the Egyptians, but it was a plan to move us out of the way to deal with the project, and then continually to slowly, incrementally take away wages. They will make excuses. Oh, the bridge went out, and then, we couldn't deliver the money, and little stuff like this, to the degree in which our people began to suffer. While the Egyptians began to align themselves with enemies to build their armies against us. So if we did try to come up in a civil war against them, they'll be ready. So while they had us building this city and paying us and all that, we was paid in full with these projects in Egypt. Like, man, we doing well. They was like, let's divvy them this money for the project while we build an army in case they try to come against us. Okay? To thwart a civil war. When you go into this history of Egypt, it's way deeper than what they're showing on the Ten Commandments, folks. You're not going to just put a multitude of black people in slavery. It doesn't work that way. It was incremental. We were citizens. We were citizens of Egypt. We were working on a project for a time that was taking care of our family hundreds and hundreds of miles away, and they was funding us for a time. Everything was good. We'd come home, everything was good. But when they started taking wages away from us, we're like, hold up, man, where's our money? Egyptians began to put taskmasters over us, bosses. Right? Then they began to do little things to weaken us. Not as much food, not as much grain for our homes. Right? Yeah, exactly. Not enough food, not enough grain. We became dependent on them, doing things to the water and all those things, and then making it where we had to make ends meet to survive. So we had no time to think about what the government leaders were planning. It was about what? I have to put food on the table. I have to put food on the table. That's what it was about. Sounds familiar?
Sounds like today.
So if you think we're not in slavery, you got another thing coming. Okay? Some people think slavery is, woe is me, I gotta pick this cotton today, and nah. It's when you're working, the majority of your day is working under a taskmaster, and you have no time to actually benefit with any level, any good quality of life in which you would leave something, an inheritance to your children. That's slavery. When you're going to sleep to wake up to serve someone else's idea under a boss with no time for your own family. This is what the Egyptians did to us. Employment. Okay? This is how you do it. Trying to put food on the table. You don't have no time to be thinking about what they planning against you in City Hall, City Council, and all those things. Come on.
Verse number 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied.
Because
and
you know us. You know our people. You can afflict us all you want. We're going to find some solace in this world. Okay? Even during affliction. We will find some happiness. We'll have our own places we come together. We'll still meet and multiply. Okay. They afflicted us. It's like, hold up, man. What we're doing is, they're going home and tired and having more children. They tired, but no, we ain't that tired. Okay, it's time to make a nation like Abraham. Okay, and then he said, okay, what's the next plan? What's the next plan? Come on.
Verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied.
The more we multiplied. That's right. That's right, because Israel is a fruitful, beautiful nation. Like, listen, my boss gave me a tough time today. Like, you know, our women, they were virtuous, they were supportive. They still are today. You know, that's being downplayed. Well, don't worry. What you want me to cook you something? What you want me rub your feet? Well, yeah, babe. I got to get this. I'm tense. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, twins, triplets. Okay. Come on, let's go.
The rest of verse 12.
Yes.
And they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
And they was upset. They were mad that we were having children. Right? Upset.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
No different.
Planned Parenthood. How do we kill them off? Don't forget the topic of this lesson is what? The black Jews were taken away. They took the black Jews away is our topic. Does this sound familiar? I don't have to say color. And right there, no matter what color you are listening to this, there's only a few people, only one people in the earth, a few people in the earth who are experiencing this. And they must be from one of these 12 sons that went into Egypt, folks. But go on.
Verse 13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
With what?
And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
Hard bondage, work.
In mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field.
Come on.
All their service wherein they were made, where they made them serve, was with rigor. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Shiphrah.
Nurses. Now, here you go now. They couldn't do it on a systemic level to make us to tire us out from having children. They tried that way. They tried to oppress us and frustrate us. We only made more children. Then they said, you know what? We must do something through the healthcare system. Who's responsible for midwifing their children? These are nurses. And I don't care what job, folks. I don't care what so-called form of employment that dries up within the Western world society. You'll always see a need for nurses in our society. That's one particular job that there's no dearth at. You notice? You notice if you're trying to get a long-standing job that you know will be there 10, 20, 30 years later. Okay, if you want a secure job with benefits, you get in the healthcare field. You become a nurse. See? The healthcare system. Nurse. And what is the nurse's job? The nurse's job is to administer the population control. Roll up your sleeves. Huh? Sounds familiar? When they took the black Jews away. Listen to this clearly, folks. Come on.
Exodus chapter 1, verse 15. And the king spake to the Hebrew midwives, of the which name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other was Puah. And he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women,
come on,
and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be
a what?
If it be a son, then ye shall kill him.
If it be a son, kill him. Why? Because the nation comes through the seed, is through the man. This is how you depopulate a race of people. If an Israelite woman sleeps with another race, she's bringing forth the seed of that race. See? Kill the boys. Because the seed of promise will come through them. And guess what? They were absolutely right. Moses came through them, through these women. Now, if Planned Parenthood was set up, whole nother deal. So what we're reading is the prototype, the blueprint for eugenics and Planned Parenthood. So when you see that pyramid on your dollar bill, the New World Order accomplished, you have to think now, who is modern day Pharaoh and who are those that were made to serve with rigor? Who are they conspiring against while we're working our behinds off trying to put food on our tables? Think about it. They could have used any symbolism on earth in the Western world, especially in America, to represent what America is about. And they used what? The Egyptian pyramid to let us know it's the same system in place against the same people. Now, I just wanted to put that out there so that we can chronologize this. Eventually, the Most High sent a savior by the name of Moses. Now, there's big questions that come out concerning, well, who was Moses? Was he black? Was he white? I'm not just going to stick on the colored thing when it comes to that. Like I said, if you believe that Christ and his disciples look like the Pope, you can do so. Or if you believe that he looked black, you can do so. Follow the information we're dropping today. And it'll all come into total clarity. Okay? Now, we all know the story. Moses eventually raised in the Egyptian house. Now, that tells you something in itself, because he must have been at least the same hue as the Egyptians. But most people would like to stick there and say, well, he was a black man. Okay, and we should more so magnify the politics of Egypt and the religions that were oppressing our people in Egypt than who was black, because before this, all the people in Egypt were black. We were black people living amongst other black people, to show you it's deeper than just race.
Exactly.
So we need to more so look at the politics of Egypt. Okay? If we are to preserve ourselves alive. It's the politics of Egypt that's a threat to us. It doesn't matter what man and what color man is in control of that politics. Right? Now, but just to bring clarity, when Moses is spoken of, and it's in our modern day context, Moses is spoke of as being a white man, and only time black people come in is someone mentions his Ethiopian wife. Okay, which is backward in itself. They'll say, yeah, there was black people. Moses married a Cushite. That's the only time they would like to bring, I'm speaking of the others, would like to bring color in relating us to Cushites or Hamites. When really, yeah, the Bible tells us the color of the Shemites. And just to give you that color real quick, right? I'm going to give you an example in Exodus 3, where the Most High reveals himself to Moses. And I'm going to give you an example of Moses' sister, who was living in Egypt, Miriam, who the Most High smit with a curse for disobeying or going against Moses in the wilderness. So that we can at least give a correct biblical depiction or description of how the Israelites looked in Egypt, using Moses and his sister Miriam, who were born Egyptian citizens, as the examples. Okay? So let's use Moses first.
And also, can I get the Bible dictionary.
Yes.
Let's get the water.
And you want to get the ham?
No, sir.
No, yeah. You know what yeah.
Yep.
Whenever you're ready, just bring whatever you want, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Exodus chapter 4, verse number 16.
Exodus 4:16.
It says, and he shall be, in fact, let me jump down here.
Yes.
Exodus 4:6. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thine hand into thy bosom.
So Moses feared facing Pharaoh without any certainty that he would live through it. He needed some certainty that him going to Pharaoh to speak to Pharaoh about letting God's people go wouldn't lead to would mean a death sentence. He was fearful. He understood the power of Pharaoh. So the Lord says, listen, I'm going to show you I'm with you. It's going to be through divine power I free my people. He says, put your hand into your vesture, Moses. And Moses put his hand into his vesture like this. Right? Read, in his cloak. Read.
And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
Leprous as snow. So Moses looked at his hand, and the miracle here that we see that wasn't in the 10 Commandments with Charleston Heston is that this man's hand turns white as a miracle shown before the Almighty. Now, obviously, he could not have been a white man. Right? Mm-hmm. If the Most High is showing him his power by turning him a different color. Not just his whole body, just his hand looked leprous. Like when a perfect example of leprosy, an example of leprosy in the Bible is when you see a person who grows up, and usually it's through vaccine damage today, where they start off dark or brown skin, then they start getting white spots, and the white begin to spot up through their body till they turn white. Well, that's a form of leprosy according to the Bible. A matter of fact, it goes into that leprosy in the book of Leviticus. Mm-hmm. The Bible tells us about it's a curse. So here it is. Those spots, I'm just giving you all some detail because a lot of you don't even know, because they don't teach this in the Christian churches, that's actually a form of leprosy that the Most High told us about, that told Moses about, to say, listen, these are the things you need to do to help someone overcome that curse. There's a curse there. And the priest must pray over that person until their hue comes in. Now, if they turn completely white, they're what the Bible, the Old Testament, deems a clean leper. Right? See, they didn't teach us this in the Christian church, but it was in the Bible the whole time, folks. Okay? So, Moses put his hand in his vesture, and he looked, and it was white. It was white. But then the Most High said, just calm down. Read, lawyer, excuse me.
Verse 7. And he said, put thy hand into thy bosom again.
Put thy hand back into thy bosom, Moses.
And he put his hand into his bosom again. And he plucked it out of his bosom.
Come on.
And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
It was turned again as his other flesh. So when you hear people talking about Moses married an Ethiopian woman, understand that's a diversion. To try to give what they would deem the ignorant of our people some level of relevance, saying, well, yeah, the Bible do speak about black people, you Hamites. To make you take pride in being a Hamite. It's a diversion. Let's go to Miriam real quick.
Numbers chapter 12, verse number 5. And the Lord came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth, and he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I the Lord will make myself known unto him in a vision, and I will speak unto him in a dream.
Now this is Moses' sister. They were both born in Egypt. Shemites. living in an Hamitic land. Moses from the seed of Shem. Miriam, his sister, from the seed of Aaron. Both from this, from the seeds of Israel. Levi. Both from the seeds of Shem. Aaron, Moses' brother, seed of Shem. These are dark people living in a dark land. Before Moses went and met the Egyptian woman, the Ethiopian woman, and married her after expulsion, after running away from the Egyptians. He slayed an Egyptian doing what? Saving his own brother. He had to flee Egypt for a time. That's when he met the Ethiopian. But he was born in Egypt. So don't come to me with some, oh yeah, you want to be recognized? Oh yeah, there's black people in the Bible. Yeah. When Moses left Egypt and came back 40 years later, out there in the wilderness, he found some black Cushite. That's y'all. Are you kidding me? They think we're dumb, brothers and sisters. Don't fall for it. Miriam, Moses' sister, go.
Verse 7. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him I will speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches, and in a similitude of the Lord shall he behold.
Come on.
Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses?
He told Miriam, were you not afraid to speak against Moses? Read.
And the anger of the Lord was kindled against him.
Come on.
And he departed. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous.
She became leprous.
White as snow.
If Miriam, Moses' sister, became leprous, white as snow, that means a clean leper from head to toe, what color must she have been before that? What color must she have been? If a curse for speaking against Moses, she was turned according to the Bible, and they have this same chapter and verse in the Torah that's read in synagogues. Read.
And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow.
Leprous, white as snow. And I'm glad someone mentioned that, because they put in the comment, well, they said that she was olive green, or he was olive green. See, I'm glad I was able to travel the world. Okay, you can only teach that to an insulated people who think that there's some other colored people somewhere. Mm-hmm. I've yet to see an olive green person, and I've been I've been in Greece, Greek islands, I've been all over the world, the Middle East, I've been everywhere. And yet have I seen that little green olive Martian they're talking about. Okay. Mm-hmm. It doesn't exist. There's no olive people. Mm-hmm. And if unless we want to talk about, hey, I just had a Greek salad not too long ago. It had black olives in it. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to show you that it's deeper than just the color here. Read.
Verse number 11. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned.
Now, he said, don't put that curse on me. That's what Aaron said. So Aaron must have been what? Mm-hmm. A man of color. Mm-hmm. Right? Now, eventually, Moses, right? Eventually, brothers and sisters, Moses would give the law to these people. Mm-hmm. He would lead them out of Egypt. Y'all know the story, the parting of the Red Sea, and walk over into dry shod. Boom, everything is fine. Even though they're trying to lie and claim there's no historical proof that Israelites ever lived in Egypt, which is a total lie. And you can totally refute that. There's this documentary out there that really put it to rest called The Pattern of Evidence. Y'all need to get that documentary, because it lets you know that they're purposely They're purposely distorting history so that we don't tie two and two together. Okay. Totally the archaeology proves that we were there in Egypt. It's there. But that's a whole nother thing. I'm going to have a get together at our church in which we're going to look at the pattern of evidence and the one they have on the alphabet also. We're going to get together and have that discussion in Philadelphia and talk about how, if they have all this history together, how is it with this research they're not putting out? There's no way this guy, and we interviewed him on our radio station, there's no way you can be in Egypt anywhere researching a documentary on the pattern of evidence of Egypt, proving that the Israelites were there, and not know that those people were us. Impossible. I was in Egypt. There's archaeology looking like us all over the place. Everywhere. Even the Egyptians and the Arabs say, you Beni Yukul. Beni Yukul, sons of Jacob. They called us sons of Jacob right out. They found out we was from America, and the Arabs over there were calling us Beni Yukul, sons of Jacob. He said, then they do like this. We brother, Isaac, Ishmael. Right? But I digress. Go on. Let's go straight to Moses now. I said I'm going to chronologize this. They took the black Jews away. The question is, who are these Jews they're talking about? And who are they, according to the Bible? Right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 7 and 6, Deuteronomy 10 and 15, and Psalms 137, 19 and 20.
Before we read that, I wanted to read one definition from the Zondervan Bible Dictionary.
Okay, great.
Okay. This is the last point on color. It says ruddy. A word used to refer to a red or fair complexion in contrast to the dark skin of the Hebrews.
In contrast to the dark skin of the Hebrews.
I remember that
And that's the Zondervan Bible Dictionary.
you remember that redneck pastor we interviewed. He refused to go in and read that definition.
Oh yeah, there was a guy that came on that we interviewed who was trying to claim that David was ruddy. And trying to say that means all of the Jews and Israelites must have looked like David. Why do you think it's making a distinction of David being ruddy?
Exactly.
Not because all of Judah was dark. It's because exactly, he was lighter than the normal hue of Judah. He was light skinned. So that's why they called him ruddy or fair, folks. But when I tried to get him to read the definition that he knew exists, it was right in his face. And the guy on our program, a right-wing white Christian, refused to read the definition. He seen it there, but refused to read it. Because ruddy doesn't mean that all of the Israelites or Jews were white. Ruddy is just a distinction, singling out one who looks different than all the rest of Judah. Right? Come on, let's go.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
So here it is. Moses was given the law. He says, listen, now that your people have left Egypt, I showed us going into Egypt. Now we're leaving Egypt with much substance to do what? To go into the land of Canaan, which would now be called the new land of Israel, a nation in which we serve our God with a different practice or religion, than anyone else on earth. This religion would be distinctly different from what the Egyptians deal with and the other nations deal with. So that thing they putting out there that all religions are really the same and it's just one God at the pinnacle of it all is a bold-faced lie. Because the Israelites have a different religion or way of what you would call a way of life opposed to everyone else. A different way of life. And see, this is what's being kept from our people. We believe that becoming a Muslim, we must follow that way of life, that path to get to God. Or becoming a Christian today, that path is the way to God. Not realizing either of these religions, neither of them were given to us by our God. Not the Christianity we see today. You're going to find out today where that came from. You're going to find out today where that Christian church today come from. Okay? Come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
And he says, you are an holy people. You're not like these other, you're not heathen. You just don't do what you want to do. Okay? Do what thou wilt is under Satan's commandments. You can't do what you want and say, well, Jesus, just sprinkle some Jesus blood on it. You covered through the blood. You're using you're using God's son to cover sin? Are you kidding me? To cover purpose sin? Being unrepentant? Christ didn't come to die and sacrifice himself for someone who looked to sin, murder, and be evil, be perverted on purpose. Willful sin. Christ didn't die for willful sin. A matter of fact, in Hebrews it says, he that sinned willfully, after acknowledging and understanding the knowledge of the truth, there remain no more sacrifices for your sin. He didn't die for you. He died so that you can see the sin in you, repent and change from your evil ways. He didn't die so that you can continue to repeat the wickedness. Right? You are an holy people unto the Lord thy God. Read.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people.
To be a what?
A special people unto himself.
Unto himself. Read.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
You were supposed to be above all people. Now now it's deeper than saying, well, I'm better. What makes you above all people? Hold that and get Psalms 137, 19 and 20. This is what was supposed to make these people who came out of Egypt above all people.
Psalms 147, verse 19.
Read.
He showeth his word unto Jacob.
He showeth his word unto Jacob. You're supposed to exemplify and be an example of God's word. See? He showeth his word, the book, to you, Jacob. Read.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
His statutes and his judgments, the do's and don'ts were given to you, the true judges of the earth. You are supposed to judge righteous judgment. His statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Read.
He have not dealt so with any nation.
He never gave any other race of people, Gentile race, his laws, statutes, and commandments. They're not documented anywhere that he've given this to anyone else. Read.
And as for his judgments.
And as for his judgments.
They have not known them.
Now why haven't they known them? The Most High didn't give it to them. See, and this is why the Gentile nations hate the Bible, speak against the Bible. And even in Christendom, after Christianity or the new people that came on the scene, after they began to take over, they began to do what? Discredit the book. Because it wasn't given to them. They don't judge righteous judgment. They hate the book. Why? Because deep in their hearts, you can lie to us in your schools and university and churches, but you know we're the people. Until this day, there's hatred amongst the hierarchy of this earth because God chose us. Right? Now we're going to go to it real quick. Hold it and get Deuteronomy 10 and 15.
Deuteronomy 10, verse 15.
Come on.
Only the Lord had a delight in thy fathers to love them.
Abraham, Isaac, Jacob.
And he chose their seed after them.
He chose the seed of man through them. And through this seed, a nation would come, a righteous nation, a spiritual nation. But what happened? We begin to disobey. We begin to follow the ways of the Gentiles. Right? Now, mind you, let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 1 and read all the way to the 15th verse. When Moses gave us the commandments, he says, listen, with the commandments, Israel, comes a great responsibility. If you fall, the whole earth will go into turmoil. There's no guide of righteousness. There will be no example of what's right in the earth, and the whole earth will turn into Sodom and Gomorrah.
Hence the condition today. The bears are the light in darkness.
That's why we're suffering so, because we had a high responsibility for the earth. Our responsibility was to check these Gentiles, to make sure they stayed on the path. Now, under obedience, under the power of the throne, we used to check them in the Old Testament. When any time a Gentile nation went off and began to do things to conspire against us, when we was under the Almighty, the Most High would have Levi come out with the Ark of the Covenant to lead us in war, and we would fight and destroy the nations who's coming up against our God without losing one man. Imagine going to war and not one person die. And when we begin to lose people in war, it was only because someone in the camp did some disobedience without the king's knowledge. Imagine that. So guess what? We as a people lost that history. But the other nations remember our wars, their defeats against us, how they were defeated throughout history, and couldn't wait for us to fall. And it wasn't our might that gave us that power to defeat them. It was our God. So the Gentiles said, well, listen, if we ever get our hands on these people, we must keep them separated from that God who empowered them against our forefathers. Set up religions, set up churches, shut up mosques, keep them separated. The minute they begin to find their God, it's over for us. So I'm going to go into the book and start reading. And I need you to follow this, to understand that the Most High didn't give Moses this law in vain. He didn't give Moses the understanding at the Mount of Sinai so that we can come some 1,000 years later and say, well, that was back then, that's done away with. No. It was the fundamental foundation that would lead to a judge who would judge the whole earth in righteousness. He was setting the stage for Christ. Moses was. So speaking to his people, our God left us a voice to follow, which is the word, the Bible. He told Moses, write it down so that the seed, the children of Israel, later on can find a way back to me. Put it in a book. Check this out. Deuteronomy 28 and 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
If you do this, Israel, I'll put you above all nations, all races. It doesn't matter what their religions are. They're not going to set up temples so that you can follow their gods. No. They don't know me. I didn't give it to them. They'll follow you. They'll learn of me. See? Read.
Verse 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee, and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If you listen. Read.
Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field.
Come on.
Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle,
Your children.
the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep.
That means you'll have land, you have cattle, corn, wine, produce, everything needed. Food.
Sustain.
You're not going to have to work the earth and serve the earth to survive. The earth will serve you. See that?
Just thinking about it.
Yeah?
There's a connection between the Most High Power and the throne directly to his people.
Yes.
There's a connection there. And this earth right now wants and needs to sever that connection
Yes.
by any means necessary.
Exactly.
And that's what's
Yeah.
going on. They need to sever that connection because that connection means that Lucifer can't rule this place no more.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
That's deep in itself, Elder Gaja. And on that, this also brings forth the understanding or show forth and magnify the hypocrisy of our modern day system who claim they're trying to do what's right to save the earth. You can't save the earth if you don't first look at the people
That's right.
who is entrusted to save the earth. Who would make sure that you wouldn't spray poisons. Who gonna spray poisons on food to save crops? You think we would come up with some madness like that? Or pesticides? No. All of these creatures are needed in our ecosystem for the earth's survival. The Bible says a fool shall be put over us. There would be no poor people living outside. Even when we used to have grapes and cornfields, we would leave the corners for the poor to eat so that they will always have food.
I'll tell you what, man, we was talking about that. They still do that right now in some countries in Africa.
They do that in Africa till this day.
They leave
Exactly.
the corners of the field full so the poor can eat.
You wanna see a failed country, and it's deep how they uphold some of these countries as the greatest country that have ever existed. A superpower. You want to know a failed country? A country you can walk within 2 or 3 mile radius and see about 30 or 40 of its citizens laying on the ground with no food to eat. So that's straight hypocrisy claiming, oh, this is the God-fearing country and we're here to save the earth. You cannot save the earth without God's people being saved. Because it wasn't entrusted in you. There's no judgment in you, according to the word. You're selfish. You only think about your house, your car, your family. You don't even think about the whole race as a whole. Because why? It wasn't given to you to understand. So that's straight hypocrisy claiming they want to save the earth while people are suffering. But that's a whole nother lesson in itself. Let's get back into it.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse number 6, or verse 5. Blessed shalt thou be, or blessed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Come on.
Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out.
When we're born, a celebration. A blessed celebration when a child is born. And a blessed funeral when the aged carry over or sleep with our fathers. Is it that way, or is it in the reverse right now? Where one of our loved ones died who loved us, who sacrificed for us, and we have to actually go set up a GoFundMe to bury our loved ones when the earth is free and dirt in a shovel is all you need. The earth is abundance. We can drive for miles and acres and there's nothing but dirt, land, green land. Huh? We're dishonored coming in, and we're even more dishonored going out. And here's the most evil thing that happens. The healthcare system hacks us up like a dead pork carcass. Surgery to surgery to surgery, so they can get tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, on our elderly before they die, and then throw them in a hole with no inheritance for their children. If you have money anywhere, they're going to find that money first. And what they'll do is say, well, you got this, that, and the other based on the prescriptions they have given you, and begin to hack your loved one to death and have the elderly go out in pain. Mm-hmm. And then they'll say, well, by the way, that surgery, that unsuccessful surgery that led to your mother and father's death, that cost us about $80,000. And we're going to raid her pension now. And you get absolutely nothing. As a matter of fact, you owe us $2,000.
Mm-hmm. It's a true life story. I can tell you, for instance, in my family that went on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taking the house.
Yeah, they'll take your house, your property. Yeah. When you put your family up into these places, the first thing they look at is the insurance and see how much money, how long they're going to keep you alive. And it depends on how much insurance they can get out of you. Or, hey, sometimes you're a person who came in there with a house. Mm-hmm. Or with this. And the family will think, well, I did right by this person. Eventually, we're going to be able to have the house for keep it in the family. Nah, that board over that old folks' home. Guess what? They're looking at that house and assets. Like, listen, about 3 surgeries will get us that house. Okay? There's no honor in how we bury our elderly. Read on.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse number 7. The Lord shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. The Lord shall command the blessing upon thee and thy storehouse, and in all thou settest thine hand unto.
A storehouse, folks, is a bank, which means you, as the children of Israel, if you follow me, you'll be over everything. Don't forget, we created the concept of consolidating power by storing grain and storing riches and all that. Joseph taught the Egyptians that. Mm-hmm. So he says, listen, if you stay under my grace and follow this law, the whole world would have to come to you for everything. Like they came into Egypt and had to pay Joseph to sustain. You will be the owners of everything, Israel, if you follow me. Now you see why they peddle disobedience to our people? It's in their favor. To have us out acting like fools and be the example of sin and evil and wickedness. They want that example of us out there. Why? Because they understand what it means. As long as we continue to disobey these laws given to Moses, the Gentiles rule our people by default. Okay? Criminality and creating criminality and nurturing that criminality and paying for that criminality is a business. It's called power. Okay, it's a business for them. Read.
Verse number 9. The Lord shall establish thee an holy people unto himself.
Come on.
As he hath sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God. And
if you keep the commandments. Right? But you know what? We didn't. When you read the 15th verse on down, it goes into the Most High now saying, you know what? For if you disobey, I'm going to scatter you throughout the earth. I'm going to scatter you. Let's get it. 64th verse.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse number 64.
Come on.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
If you disobey my law, Israel, you 12 tribes whom I've saved from the hand of Pharaoh, your children will be scattered throughout the earth. Read.
From the one end of the earth, even unto the other.
Read.
And there thou shalt serve other gods.
And you will serve new gods. Now what is it they're saying here? You will be raised under a different religion. Huh? The black Jews, they took the black Jews away. They were scattered. And what happened?
The Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth, even unto the other.
And see, and this is why I don't blame the people who've oppressed us. I don't blame them. It was the hand of the Almighty. These nations aren't that strong to put a people such as who are as great as Israel in perpetual bondage. It must have been a spiritual curse through God. It had to be some level of a spiritual intervention for such a great nation to fall into the hands of the nations, the disobedient. See that? Read.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth.
From the one end of the earth.
Even unto the other.
Even unto the other. It was our God that allowed this to happen. For what? For the disobedience against the law given to Moses. Now, so if I'm a Gentile ruler and is benefiting from this people who disobeyed Moses' law, right? I'm benefiting from it. I'm reading the Bible and it says if these people disobey, then their God will put them under me. So if I set up a religion, the first thing I'm going to teach these people are what? That you don't have to follow these laws. A matter of fact, it's sin to follow those laws. It's advantageous for me and my people to teach that the laws are done away with, that they no longer have a significance in the earth anymore. And by default, you learn of my new God, which says, what? Do as thou will, Jacob.
Hey, listen, sorry, excuse my voice a bit low.
Go ahead, say something real quick.
Yeah, check it out.
Go ahead.
Let me
grab
grab
it. Go ahead. Real quick. I'll be right back. Go ahead. Go ahead, Gotcha.
Yeah, you know, sorry, let me get in. You know, when one of the first time when I went to Africa and I actually saw the place how vast it was, I always said that, like, yo, listen, there's no way they could have taken down these people.
Right.
It's it's divine intervention. You with me? Why? Because the place is so vast. You You understand? It's
Right.
impossible for them to take down the people. So when you go back and you start to get the scriptures now, it makes sense. When you go over, let me just jump over real quick here. So what do we have? And get me Leviticus 26, 3 and 4 real quick. Just to bring things into perspective here. Yeah, excuse me, my voice is going, man.
You said Leviticus?
Yeah, Leviticus 26. All right, still dealing with the blessings and the curses, all right? Leviticus 26, and pick up about verses 3, I think, on there.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 3. If ye walk in my statutes and keep my commandments
So if we walk in the Most High statutes and keep His commandments, go on,
and do them,
and do them. That's doing them, yeah?
then I will give you rain in due season,
Rain in due season.
and the land shall yield her increase.
So this is a promise. The Most High said He's going to give us rain in due season, and the land going to give increase. If we keep His statutes and His commandments. Look around you. Go on, Elder.
And the trees of the field shall yield their fruit.
Go ahead.
And your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time.
You're gonna have substance. Jump down to verse 6, please.
Verse number 6. And I will give you peace in the land, and ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid, and I will rid evil beasts out of the land, neither shall the sword go through your land.
No warfare. Nobody can take you down. That's what I was saying. You made a point about the having the substance and divine intervention.
Yes.
When I went into Africa the first time, looked at the land, there's no way nobody could have come take these people down. The land too big, it too vast. It had to have been a divine intervention. It had to have been. Just read out that last verse with me, please.
Verse number 6. And I will give you peace in the land, and ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid, and I will rid evil beasts out of the land, neither shall the sword go through your land.
Go ahead.
And ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword, and 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight.
5 of you will chase 100. You ever wonder why police come with backup when they see an Israelite? That's why. They remember that. 5 of us took 100 down.
Yeah. Thank you, Elder Gadget.
And
ahead.
just one point off of the last statement you just made. You made a statement that it would be beneficial for the Gentiles to keep us enslaved.
Exactly.
Because they would benefit.
They would benefit from our disobedience.
Exactly. So here's an example of that, the benefits they would receive. Verse number 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord thy God shall send against thee, and hunger.
And hunger, that means you must, to sustain. You must depend on their system to feed your family.
And in thirst, and in nakedness.
For
And-
clothing and all that. I see our people running around, man, check out these Nikes. Tommy Hilfiger, yo. I mean, just do what Prince did. Just draw slave on your head. He came to the resolve that, listen, we slaves. What are you talking about? Tommy Hilfiger, that means you went to your race, your nation, for the want of, you went to another nation for the want of all things. Where's your family name on the clothing your children are wearing? And when I say your family name Israel. But go on.
And in want of all things.
And in want of all things. Anything our people want, we must go to the other nations for. That was a curse that was placed on our people. Right? Now, Elder Lawyer, jumping up in history now. We began to disobey, and eventually, I pointed out a few weeks ago, that the Most High split the tribes. In 2 Kings 17, after the sin of Solomon, 10 tribes came over here to the Americas and different parts of the earth on the outside of the old world and began to live in ghettos in those outside provinces. Judah was left only, with Judah being the head king tribe. And then it's subsequent to that, with them, Benjamin and Levi the priesthood. Right? Now, when you chronologize this history and go through this history, you'll realize that these people were the children of Israel. And what I want to show you is that the Gentiles would find Israel scattered and began to teach them not to follow God's law. Every place they found us, they would set up institutions to teach us to disobey the laws of Moses. Right? Now check this out. Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, get me 2 Kings 17 and 17 because I want to deal with the 10 tribes first. 2 Kings 17 and 17. Showing you how these scriptures were fulfilled to the degree in which the Roman Catholic Church and the other Gentiles nations would begin to find us later and convert us into a disobedient religion.
2 Kings chapter 17, verse number 17.
Come on.
And they caused their sons and their daughters. In fact, I'll start up a few verses just to get some understanding.
Some context.
The practices we follow.
Come on.
2 Kings 17, verse 13. Yet the Lord testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, Turn ye from your evil ways and keep my commandments.
Turn from your evil ways. So we begin to sin against the God that saved us from the hand of the Egyptians. Read.
Turn ye from your evil ways and keep my commandments and my statutes according to all the law which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent to you by my servants, the prophets.
Come on.
Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but hardened their necks like to the necks of their fathers.
So we became hard-headed. And now, mind you, in the law, it says you are a clean people. You are not to eat anything unclean. If it wasn't under the laws of sacrifice, when it comes to the animals to be sacrificed in the Old Testament, you are not to consume them. Period. Pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, crustaceans, pigs, swine, rat, possum. That's heathens' food. Right? You are not to celebrate the Babylonian worships of Satan. Semiramis is Easter. Nimrod to Tammuz's birth, the virgin birth child who was born December 25th. The child, the anti-God child, Tammuz, Satan's son. You are not to celebrate that. You're serving another God. Read.
Verse number 14. Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but hardened their necks like to the necks of their fathers that did not believe in the Lord their God.
Someone asked real quick, was Israelites scattered to Russia? Israelites were scattered everywhere. And if you have a little time, stick with us because we're going to show you some of the diaspora and the effects of the diaspora. So you can make a clear distinction between those who are claiming to be the people today, and you're going to find out that they took the black Jews and where they took the black Jews. Read.
Verse number 15. And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity and became vain and went after the heathen that were round about them.
So we begin to follow the religions and the practices and ideology of the Gentile nations. Now, mind you, these are the same people God didn't give his law to. Right? Now, you can just imagine some of the things they were doing. You can just imagine it. A people with no law, that means there's no law concerning how to keep marriage sacred, what marriage is, how to keep a traditional family walking in the light of the Almighty. On and on and on and on, right? Now, Elder Lawyer,
Yes, sir.
keep on going down. I need you to go down to the 17th on down.
Yes, sir. One more verse 16. It says, and they left all the commandments of the Lord their God.
It says, we left all the commandments of God. Now, mind you, folks, the reprimanding comes in at the point where it's stated, because you've done what?
They left all the commandments of the Lord their God.
They left all the commandments that they were directed with, given to them through Moses. Mm-hmm. They left the direction of Moses. So the Most High was giving us a direction, a civil law, a moral law, a dietary law, a ceremonial law, different than any other race on earth. A specific way of worshiping for a specific people. Mm-hmm. The problem our people have is we believe, because we're taught by the Gentiles, we began to believe that we were someone else. And through that, because we're someone else, we're not responsible for keeping those laws. Mm-hmm. Big mistake. That's a great mistake. Because even if a Gentile wanted to do what was right by them, by their own family, they would see value in the law given to Israel, mm-hmm. given through Moses. Mm-hmm. If the Gentile wanted right, they would see value in that law.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're taking all the points as they come into my mind.
Go ahead.
All the points.
Go ahead.
The point is that, listen, whether you believe you're a Jew or a Gentile,
yeah,
let's examine what the Most High commanded his people to follow in comparison to what the heathen followed. And you decide what's best for you and your family.
Exactly. Read on, Elder Lawyer.
There's a point. It tells you Deuteronomy 4, 5, and 6
mm-hmm.
that this is your wisdom in the sight of all the nations.
Yep.
So when they see it, they're going to be like, you know what?
Exactly.
They're so wise and understanding people.
Exactly.
So it goes back to what we said before. Okay, you examine it. Are you following the wisdom that the Most High gave to his people? Or are you following the people who killed the people with the wisdom?
Exactly.
It's simple.
Exactly.
There's only two masters.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Find out which one you're serving.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Read on.
Verse 16. And they left all the commandments of the Lord their God.
So the Israelites, the 10 tribes, they left all the commandments of the Lord their God.
And made them molten images.
And started worshiping molten images. Go on. Molten images. Calves, mm-hmm. Go on.
Even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshiped all the host of heaven, and served Baal.
And served Baal. I want y'all to check this out. Read that again.
And they left all the commandments of the Lord their God, and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshipped all the host of heaven, and served Baal.
And served Baal. Brothers and sisters, I want to show y'all something that y'all probably didn't know. I want to show y'all something right here. Elder Gaja, you got to see this.
Actually, I got it here in the...
You see it?
Yeah, I got it here in the screen. Yeah.
Some news y'all probably needed to see. The statue of the ancient god of child sacrifice put on display in Rome. Rome. Hold up. I want y'all to see this. See the all-seeing eye?
The eye, the 6-pointed star.
See it? It's put on display. It says the pagan god Moloch greets visitors of the Colosseum Rome as part of an exhibition that opened September 27th, 2019. Statue of ancient god of child sacrifice put on display in Rome. November 6th, they put it up. A reconstruction of a pagan idol who demanded child sacrifice was stationed at the entrance of Rome's Colosseum as part of a secular historical exhibition. At the entrance put on display in Rome. At the entrance of Rome on display in of ancient God of
Yeah, I gotta hear this. Yeah.
some news y'all probably needed to see. The statue of ancient God of the ancient God of child sacrifice put on display in Rome. Lot greets visitors of the Colosseum Rome as part of an exhibition that opened September. It's put on display. It says the pagan god Moloch greets visitors of the Colosseum put on display in Rome. At the entrance of Rome's Colosseum as ancient. That again.
And they left all the commandments of the Lord their God and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove and worshipped all the host of heaven and served Baal.
And served Baal. Brothers and sisters, I want to show y'all something that y'all probably didn't know. I want to show y'all something right here. Elder Gaja, you got to see this.
Actually, I got it here in the.
You see it?
Yeah, I got it here in the screen. Yeah.
Some news y'all probably needed to see. The statue of ancient God of the ancient God of child sacrifice put on display in Rome. Rome. Hold up. I want y'all to see this. See the all-seeing eye?
The eye, the 6-pointed star.
See it? It's put on display. It says the pagan god Moloch greets visitors of the Colosseum Rome as part of an exhibition that opened September 27th, 2019. Statue of ancient god of child sacrifice put on display in Rome. November 6th, they put it up. A reconstruction of a pagan idol who demanded child sacrifice was stationed at the entrance of Rome's Colosseum as part of a secular historical exhibition. Huh? You sure you're under the right religion that was given to you in Christianity, folks? By the Romans? The Roman Catholic Church? Are you sure you're under the right religion calling yourself a Christian today? When our God began to reprimand our forefathers for going after these same worships, making idols. Hold up, there's more. Read. Something that y'all probably didn't know.
And they left all the commandments of the Lord their God and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove and worshipped all the host of heaven and served Baal.
And served Baal. Brothers and sisters, I want to show y'all something that y'all probably didn't know. I want to show y'all something right here. At the shore, you're under the right view in Christianity, folks, by the Romans, the Roman Catholic Church. Are you sure you're under the right religion, calling yourself a Christian today? When our God began to reprimand our forefathers for going after these same worships, making idols. Hold up, there's more. Read.
Verse number 17.
Someone asked if there's any New Testament. You stand pat. You're going to get all you need.
That's right.
I see y'all coming in late, not realizing I says we're going to chronologize.
17.
Someone asked if there's any New Testament. You stand pat. You're going to get all you need.
That's right.
I see y'all coming in late. Not realizing I says we're going to chronologize this from A to Z. Everything will be covered today. So be patient with us. We have to start at the Old Testament. Why? Because we have to show you, we have to go to the beginning to show you what God intended in the beginning. And then we parallel that at the end of all of this with what we have now. We parallel what the Most High gave us and why he punished us. And then we'll show you today. We'll show you Christ's time and all that. And then we'll give you today and say, well, okay, based on what the Lord said and what Christ said and what the disciples was teaching, what the H is this we call religion? What have we been upholding? Let's go.
Verse number 17. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire.
Through the fire.
And use divination.
And through the fire is child sacrifice to Moloch. The date I'm giving you here is around 718 BC. 718 BC this went down. So child sacrifice didn't start with Rome. It happened the Gentiles were sacrificing their children. And that's why, brothers and sisters, y'all need to open your minds well beyond thinking that it's some small group called the Illuminati. All the Gentiles are a part of this crap. It's a religious practice by satanic authoritative governments over the earth. It's not just no one group getting together, let's have a party. This is speaking of all the governments that are established under Satan. Set up to do what? To destroy our people. And if they'll sacrifice their own children, what end do you think they have for us? And ours. See?
Yeah, so much things coming over here, man, but I don't want to
just
you with me?
I know it.
Like, check it. Even going back into the Halloween sacrifices that goes on every year.
Halloween, exactly.
These are ancient religious practices coming down.
Pagan practices, the same thing. This is what we went into captivity for.
Exactly. So if you're in your church right now and your church telling you happy Halloween, then wait. But isn't this what the God of Israel?
Gotcha. Someone sent me some information where Christian churches were set up and they were having what they call a holy Halloween in the name of Christ.
Oh gosh. What madness.
A holy Halloween.
Hey.
And no. Here's the whole thing though. They'll look at us as if we're saying something wrong, as if we're trying to, as if as if we're negative or speaking evil, denouncing these days. Well, listen, I understand these days and these practices led to the suffering of our people. How long will we continue the curse? What do you want to do? You want to give the church to you want to give the curse and leave this evil curse to our children? When does it end? And I'm talking about the Christian churches right now, in particular. When does it end? When do we stand up and say, we denounce all paganism? And it's not for the children. The Bible says, train up the children the way they should go, and when they're of age, they shall not depart from it. I see children right now who've been raised right, who don't miss Christmas, not even thinking about it, who detest it. So don't try to claim it's for the children. It's not for the children. According to the Bible, it's to Satan. It's child sacrifice. You're lending them over to a spirit. You're opening up a door, a gate. And right now it may seem celebratory and feel good, but guess what? When you open that gate through paganism, any evil demon or spirit can come through one day. So you think it's about Christmas. It's about opening the vortex for a future evil against your family. But go on.
Verse number 17. And they caused their sons and daughters to pass through the fire.
Through the fire.
And use divination and enchantment.
And enchantment.
And sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger.
And it made God angry. Like, why did I save you from the Egyptians? They were pagans in Egypt. Why did I destroy Pharaoh? Why did I give you a land, Israel? Only to disobey me and follow the same people I destroy to protect you? Read.
Verse 18. Therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
That's Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. The 10 tribes were taken out of the land. And guess what? The Assyrians took them. And it's written of in the Apocrypha. A couple of weeks ago, I went into the history of this in the academy to prove that the Indian tribes on the chart are the lost tribes of Israel. I proved it in the academy. I also proved it on a video that's out there now, the 12 lost tribes found, that you can actually look into. It cannot get disputed. They left the land Negro. They left black. But a curse happened to the 10 tribes. And this is why when you look on our sign that we have sometimes, they don't look exactly Negroid like us. Why? Let's get the chapter and verse first. 2nd Esdras 13 and 39. Read it, Elder Lawyer.
2nd Esdras chapter 13.
Don't forget Maccabees now. Hold that because we're going to hit that.
2nd Esdras chapter 13, verse number 39.
So what happened to the 10 tribes that were taken out of the land according to the Old Testament? 2 Kings 17. Read.
And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto himself.
Another peaceable multitude.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of the land or out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive.
So Salmanassar led away captive what?
The 10 tribes.
The 10 tribes that were living in the northern kingdom. Read.
And he carried them over the waters.
Over the waters.
And so they came into another land.
And they came into another land. The new world. Read.
Verse 41. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen.
Come on.
And go into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Went into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Keep in mind, folks, that before the flood of Noah, the earth was one landmass. After the flood, the earth broke, and the place they would call Atlantis, or the capital of the Nephilim, went further west. And it became what? A hidden land. The Most High moved that wickedness far west. And that's what we call the Americas today. And what they call in certain circles, the lost land of Atlantis. America. Read.
42. That they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
They never kept in their own land. Read.
Verse 43. So, if I can mention,
Go
the
ahead.
reason why they left the land of Assyria
Great
among
point.
the heathen was to keep the laws that they never kept in their own land.
Because disobeying led to expulsion.
Exactly. That's right.
So they said, you know what? We're gonna try to do this right this time. Let's leave and set up the commandments and the laws and statutes over in the new land. You see that? And that's why you can find Hebrew in Ohio, in ancient Phoenician Hebrew too. In Ohio and all that, in different areas till this day. And even in Puerto Rico, they found archaeology of ancient Hebrew tablets. Right? So that they can serve in what? You got it. They can serve in the new land following the law, statutes, and commandments. But guess what? Don't forget, there were temples that were still over here. That's right, pre-flood temples with scribes on the wall, like in Mexico and others. And you had men go in there and begin to read some of the divinations and wickedness that was pre-flood, and they began sacrificing over here in the Americas. And that's when the Most High said, well, okay, I'm going to send a fierce nation against you as quick as the eagle flieth. I'm sending Edom to the new world to chastise these tribes who came over to first serve me, but began to disobey all over again.
Hey, if the people don't believe that, read that book called The American Holocaust.
The American Holocaust. Exactly. Exactly. But originally, they were all black. They were all dark-skinned coming out of these areas. But something happened. Finish reading what you have, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. 43. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river, for the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
Go ahead.
And the same region is called Arsareth.
Which means hidden land. Hidden land. Now, hold that and let's go to Hosea 7 and 8. So once the 10 tribes left the area, what would happen? They no longer had the protection of the Almighty. Right? Come on.
Hosea chapter 8. You said verse 7? Or Hosea 8 and 8?
Hosea 7 and 8.
Hosea 7 and 8. Hosea chapter 7, verse number 8. Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people.
Now, Ephraim was what? The leader or the king of the northern kingdom of Samaria. After they were taken out of the land, as a curse, as was written, they will be scattered amongst the other nations and begin to serve other gods. Right? And through this, they will get conquered by other races of people and begin to mix, read.
Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people.
Speaking of Ephraim over the 10 tribes, they were being raped or intermarried with the races who began to conquer them. Therefore, by the time Judah, Benjamin, and Levi would run into them, they would be of lighter hue. Okay? They would look like some of the nations that have ravished them, according to the curse. See? That's why Judah, Benjamin, and Levi are predominantly the races that the tribes who were predominantly intact during crisis time. This is why the 10 tribes don't look exactly like Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, because we stayed intact We were there during the Roman Empire, and we eventually ran into Africa. So when we met them over here, by the time we seen them here, they looked like an entirely different race. They looked like Gentiles to us. See? Read.
Ephraim is a cake not turned.
Ephraim is a cake not turned.
Verse 9. Strangers have devoured his
It
strength.
says Ephraim is what?
Ephraim is a cake not turned.
Ephraim is a cake not turned. Black on one side, dark on one side, light on the other. Read.
Strangers have devoured his strength,
Strangers, Gentiles have devoured his strength,
and he knoweth it not.
and he don't even realize it. They don't even realize that they're the children of Israel, the 10 tribes. But the Most High would one day, what? Awaken Judah to bring them back to the fold. Now, because of time, I'm about to jump into some of this history. That's how they fell. Now you have the 10 tribes scattered without hope, without any hope in the world, believing they're Gentiles. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi is still intact. Eventually, the kingdom or the kingship falls under the Babylonian Empire. And after the Babylonian Syrian Empire, then you would have the Persian Medo Empire. And then you got it. The Greeks and Romans. They took the black Jews away. Let's now focus on the Jews who were left in Judea now. Under the Greeks, there arose one by the name of Antiochus Epiphanes. This is around 164 BC, between the Grecian Empire and the Roman Empire. Here's a bust of an Edomite by the name of Antiochus Epiphanes. Now, the reason we're going into him is because every place the Israelites are conquered, right? The government, what I would call the governmental as well as religious blueprint on how to keep us enslaved, begins with Antiochus. That means if we're conquered, they would use the same rules of Antiochus Epiphanes to keep the children of Israel enslaved. Right? Now, in the book of Maccabees, it breaks down the Gentiles' intent against Judah, Benjamin, and Levi to keep us from ever awakening. Because once we begin to come to the light, we'll begin to awaken our other brothers who were scattered. So they had to put a religious mechanism in place, a tyrannical religious mechanism. Now, my question to you, how many of you can say you agree with what Antiochus Epiphanes set up? And I'm going to go over these through bullet points. Right? Tell me if you agree with this. We're in what? 2nd Maccabees, the 6th chapter. Read.
2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 1.
Come on.
Not long after this, the king sent, if you don't mind, can we start in 1 Maccabees 1 and then
Go
jump
ahead.
over?
Come on.
So we're going to start at 1 Maccabees 1 and then jump over to 1 Maccabees 6.
Come on.
1 Maccabees 1, verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes,
It's speaking out of the Greeks.
son of Antiochus, king, who had been an hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. Jumping down to verse 41.
Now, of course, we taught this in the academy last week. Who's Edom? Who was in Rome during this time? You got it. Zephos lineage through Esau took the throne of Rome years before the Greeks and Romans came on the scene. and power. The Edomites were ruling in Rome years. I'm talking about over 1,000 years before Christ was on the scene. They were already, you got it, in Rome and set up a throne. You can read that in the book of Jasher through Esau's grandson, Zepho. Zepho is written of in Genesis, the 36th chapter. Go on.
Verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
So now he wrote a decree to Rome. To Jerusalem, that we should all be one people. No more separating according to what God you worship. You understand? Or what nation you're aligned with. That all people should be one people. Read.
And everyone should leave his laws.
And every race of people, regardless of the traditions of your foreparents, should leave their laws.
So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
All the heathens agreed to denounce their own traditions to make a new way of life. All races under one understanding, irregardless of their forefathers' traditions. Let's get back to the Tower of Babel.
Which at this time was called Hellenism.
It's called Hellenism. Exactly. So he set it up where the Gentiles would agree to denounce their traditions and walk in a new world fashion. Sounds familiar? Sounds like the world we're living in today, doesn't it? Come on.
Verse 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
So Israelites consented to this religion. So this wasn't just a way of life. Israelites began to consent to this, that we would denounce the laws given to us through Moses. Read.
Now here's the bullet points.
Here's the bullet points. Let's go.
And sacrifice unto idols.
Hold up. Number one, sacrifice unto idols.
And profane the Sabbath.
Profane the Sabbath. Hold up now. So they agreed to do this. This is a satanic agreement.
So there go your holidays, and there go your Sunday worship by Rome. Has nothing to do with Christ or the Bible. It's all Rome and Babylon. Well, Babylon then to Rome.
That will bring all the Gentiles together, make sure that they sacrifice to idols. The sacrificing to idols are the holy days that are set up under Babylon. Christmas, Easter, Sunday, Lent, all of that is a sacrifice unto idols. And then we must agree all together to profane the Sabbath day of the Lord. When God said, remember the Sabbath? Come on.
For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
So now they're pressuring our people to follow the strange laws of the land. That means, no, you treat the Sabbath like any other day. Profane it. You're going to find this is a time in which the Gentiles began to heavily push Sunday worship, like it was in ancient Babylon. All quiet on Sunday, but profane the Sabbath of the Lord. Come on.
If I can mention, this was forced upon all nations, but it had a specific profound effect on our nation.
Exactly. They all agreed to it. But it had the greatest impact, the greatest negative impact against us. Because we were given the law and we were told, according to the law, to keep the Sabbath. And this also proves, like I think Gaja pulled out before we discussed this earlier, the madness that they're teaching in the Seventh-day Adventists. It proved that that's a total false doctrine, that the that the so-called Sunday law is the mark of the beast. When the Sunday law was instituted during Antiochus Epiphanes. What are you talking about?
It was illegal. It was illegal to keep the Sabbath.
It was illegal to keep the Sabbath during Antiochus Epiphanes' time. Come on.
45. And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days.
So
Go follow your holidays and Bacchus Marigar parades over the holy days in the Bible, like Passover. And go worship on Sunday instead of the Sabbath on Saturday. Sunday is the first day of the week, Sabbath means 7th, which is Saturday. Friday sundown to Saturday sundown to be exact.
also that they should not only just profane the Sabbath, but also that our people should do what?
Profane the Sabbaths and festival days.
No more festival days for the Hebrew Israelites. You ought to follow our pagan days.
So ask yourself a question. Is your church telling you this? That you shouldn't keep the Sabbath?
Exactly.
So what church are you under?
What church are you under that's saying that you could profane the
Christ says there's two masters, him, Christ in the Bible, or Satan. No in between. So they're going against the Bible. They're up Satan. Satan's world till Christ returns. 90% fall, 10% be the remnant. Satan's world, and he controls all the nations, governments, religion, holidays. The Bible is not religion. Christianity, Catholic don't teach the Bible. They lie on Christ. All the denominations. Bible is truth, not religion. Bible is real history and facts, not theology or opinions or nothing. Theology, whatever. Two people are Romans from Esau, they're not the people. Christ's real name is Yeshua, that's Savior in the Hebrew Venetian. Israelites speak Hebrew. The Lord J didn't exist when Christ was alive, so his name couldn't have been Jesus. That's impossible. The Lord J didn't exist. And he's the Son, not the Father. Father real name given to Moses in Exodus 3:13-14. I am Ahai Shahai. Alright? And those people are gathering more food for on YouTube. They follow the Bible and Christ through facts and history, not through theology, not through the synagogue of Satan lens, or opinions or nothing. Alright? Follow laws and commandments, get baptized. Christ said you gotta follow laws and commandments, everybody in the Bible. Alright? Christ is dark skin, white with hair, Revelation 1:14-15. If Christ came down in the flesh, 1 John 4:1, he had people, he had nation, he had color, so he's dark skin, white with hair. So people gotta wake up. His people is too. Deuteronomy 20:68, Israelites, not Africans or Hamites. Israelites were slave ships into America to be sold in them because they broke the law of these sins. So wake up. They're from Jacob. It's a people, not a religion. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Jacob's 12 sons, because the 12 tribes of Israel. A people, not a religion. Physical bloodline. Seed, right? So wake up. The governments are satanic. NASA, science, all lies. Healthcare is a systematic genocide. Politics don't matter. They're all Masonic, satanic seats. Government satanic. Multi-sacrifice. Child sacrifice. Bohemian Grove. Epstein's the whole government. Wake up, okay? Mark of the Beast is a microchip. And there'd be a physical cashless society, just only digital currency. You can't buy or sell or do anything without that mark. So that's what that is. Don't get it. And wake up before it's too late, because the Bible tells you, prophesy, Iran war will be the final war and will end Babylon, aka America. So wake up.
Sabbath and celebrate Christmas and Easter. And totally denounce and disrespect.
So what church are you under?
What church are you under that's saying that you could profane the Sabbath and celebrate Christmas and Easter? And totally denounce and disrespect the holy days as written in the same Bible you claim to uphold. Read.
46. And pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols.
Catholic Church. When the Catholic Church conquered us, when they conquered, look at what they did to our people in Africa. Set up a church filled with idols. The Palikwa Taino Indians and those that they conquered even over here in the Americas. Turned the Israelites who were scattered throughout the earth into idolaters. In the name of Christ, in the name of Jesus.
And that's the difference. At this time, we knew what it was.
We knew what it was back then.
Right.
And chose it.
Exactly. So now the dangerous thing is that this same concept is being taught under the guise of Christ. This
Exactly.
is what Christ desires.
They're teaching this concept as if Christ commanded it, when really it's a command through what? A Greek tyrant by the name of Antiochus Epiphanes. It had nothing to do with Jesus doing away with the Sabbath. They're really teaching the principles in the Christian church of Antiochus Epiphanes. That wicked root that the Bible speaks of. Come on.